Greetings, folks.
Welcome back to the TheTractorfella channel, where we forget to film part of the intro and have to do it at a later date.
On today's episode, we're going to take this gorgeous Johnson Seahorse with 9.5 horses of water turbulating fury, and we're going to see if it'll run. I was driving home one day, and I drove by somebody's house, and there it was, sitting next to the mailbox, ready for the trash. I couldn't believe it. When something like this comes along, you hop out of your car immediately, and you throw it in the back like you stole it. I mean, you calmly get out of your vehicle, grab the engine, make sure the owner sees you and waves at you, and then you take it home. This is not the first boat engine we've worked on the show. If you want to check out a Mercury 75 with 7.5 horses of water turbulating fury, go check out that series. I'll put a link somewhere up in that corner. We'll see if it shows up. Last time we did a boat engine, somebody was like, "You just plugged it into fuel and fired it up?" Well, yeah, I did, but you can't just do that. You got to give it an inspection. I had a lot of people tell me some things I should have checked before I started it, like gear oil, etc., etc. So let's do a quick overview. I have not twisted the handle, I have not pulled the choke, I haven't turned the high and low idle adjustment, I haven't tried to shift gears. I've done nothing with this engine, other than put it on the extraordinarily complex yet extremely convenient folding boat engine stand. So, here we go. Johnson. 9.5 horse. This is a seahorse, which, did you know that seahorses in the ocean are one of the few male species on the earth that give birth to live babies? Weird. Look at that. 50th anniversary series? Oh no, don't fall off. We can't let that fall off. We're gonna have to glue it back in if it tries to. Controls. Stop button. Will it squish? It will. It is not solidified. That's awesome. Slow speed adjustment. Lean, and it does twist, and it stops there. And will it go rich? It will. And wow, it goes very rich, and it stops there. We're gonna put that right back to the middle-ish. Choke. Yep, she moves. Gear selector. So on the Merc, it said don't move the gear selector unless the engine is running. So we're gonna leave that for later. Throttle control arm, also known as, I believe, a tiller. It's stiff. It's very stiff. What do we have here? Stop. Does it twist? Oh boy, that is also stiff. Slow, shift, start. And screamin' demon. Okay, ripcord. It engages. I hit a stop right there, so it is ready to start this baby. But what I'd like to do is pull the spark plugs, shoot a little lube in the cylinders, because I don't know how long this baby's been sitting. Could have been 5 days before I picked it up. Could have been 15 years before I picked it up. So we're going to leave that alone for now. However, I would like to read this. All right, let's get some cutter of the crud. Oh, crud cutter to the throat. That was lovely. Gently clean this guy off. Okay, starting instructions. Oh, look, tilt lock. We have a lever right here. Read owner's manual. Have not downloaded yet. Connect fuel line to motor. We do not have a tank for this. We're going to have to make one for ourselves. Squeeze primer bulb, which we don't have until pressure is felt. Shift to neutral. Okay, so you can shift this to neutral, even if the engine's not running. Twist grip to start position. Pull choke knob out. Pull starter handle. Push in choke as engine warms. To stop, push stop button on control panel. Spark plug, Champion J4J or AC M42K. Use OMC. Oh, okay. Alright, it's an OMC-based engine. Type C, lubricant in gear case. Very exciting. Next, let's take a look under this beautiful hood. I'm guessing we pull this up. No, I guess we don't. Don't we, or do we? No, we don't. How do we remove the hood on this gorgeous internal combustion specimen? Ah, there's a latch on the back. There we go. Oh, there's the water cooling exit right there. And okay, wow, that insulation is in really good shape. We have a little bit of oil. It appears to be oil, unless those are hot marks. We have a little mold going on. Very cool. Nice to see it's in good shape. This must be what they consider a bellows. So for those of you that are not super familiar with marine applications, This is actually where the exhaust comes out here. One thing that can kind of help guide you in that direction is that the carburetor is on this side, right? We don't really need to cool the air that comes into the engine with the fuel. We need to cool the exhaust that exits the engine so that we don't burn up the case and light it on fire. So this exhaust chamber here, if that's what you want to call it, I don't know if it's called an exhaust chamber, whatever, who cares, I'm rambling, blah, 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 is cooled by water. And once the water cools, the exhaust... Deer flies are so bad this year. Dang, man. Once the water cools the exhaust chamber, then it exits through this bellows out the back in the form of a P-stream, as people like to call it. The starter gear, or ripcord gear, or recoil gear, pops up as you pull the cord, engages the flywheel, and starts it up. It looks decent. I wouldn't say it looks amazing, but it's also from, I don't know what year. We're going to have to look up the serial number. Have a look at the teeth. You can see what I'm talking about. Yeah. Plastic gears. What can you do? But look how nice and clean the interior is on this engine. That's one thing that's really cool about marine applications. If they're not weeping oil all over the place, they really are clean on the inside because it's not a dusty environment. Which is also why you rarely see an air filter on a marine application, because you're on the water. How much dust are you going to find on the water? Unless it's cottonwood season. There are a couple of wires here. I'm guessing they go to the kill switch. Yep, that is correct. That's where they go. We have a cable here that runs out to our mixture adjustment for idle speed. Flies! We have children in the background screaming. That's pretty standard. Okay, gear selector. Ouch. Pinch. Reverse. It wants to go into reverse. Not too willing to go into... Got quite a bit of movement here. Let me show you. So as I try to go into drive, you can see the whole unit kind of lifts up. I'm guessing that's kind of part of a... I guess you could call it a dampening system so that you're not feeling all the vibrations. I bet if I rotate the propeller a little bit, we can get this baby into drive. Yep. Neutral, drive, neutral, reverse. There we go. Yeah, we're good. Hey, how about that? Serviceable grease fittings. Sure, there are plenty of you that know a lot about these, but I don't. That's part of my channel, is we explore the unexplored when it comes to, well, me, I guess. Okay, ignition. Cylinder 1, we'll call it. Cylinder 2, we'll call it. What kind of carburetor do we have? It's large. Look at the size of the bowl. I'm guessing that's the bowl on the carburetor. That's pretty good size. I'm not seeing a whole lot of markings yet. I wonder if this is a bowl drain to help winterize the engine. The Merc was pretty easy to identify. It had a carburetor type right on the side. What do we have? Mercarb? Nice. Mercarb BB2C. Mercarb BB2C. So far I'm just seeing some numbers. Yeah, so I can't find any identifiers on the carburetor as to what type it is, but that's okay. We're going to hope and assume that the last time this was used it had ethanol-free fuel in it, and we're going to be completely fine, because the last thing I want to do is pull that off of there, because that looks complex. Set points to 20 thousandths. 2. 580-464. G. Okay, well, I think we're good with the inspection. We can inspect the lower unit a little bit. There it is. It's a lower unit. We do have a propeller. It appears this is the water intake, which is nice because we can actually use earmuffs on this one. The Merc, the intake was on the bottom, and we had to put it in a bucket in order to get it to suck any water. Let's go check the other side. Interesting. Intake on one side only. What do we have here? Push in and then turn. What do you do, little guy? I don't know. Maybe you push in and turn after you pop this and raise up the lower unit? I don't know. Shallow drive. Nice. Okay, so you can take this baby in shallow... Oh, no, I get it. Let's play with the shallow drive. 1 sec. Shallow drive experimentation. I'm guessing that we... No, this needs... Oh, wow. Good job for tightening that down. Okay, let's try that again. But first of all, we're going to try this lock, unlock. So let's release this. Yep, it's super easy, right? Give me, I don't know, 15-20 minutes, I'll figure this out. Maybe we need to be in neutral? We are in neutral. I know, it's my first day on the show. Okay, well, I have an idea. Let's put her on the ground. All right, here we go. Okay, so tell me what you see when I try to move the linkage. Oh, I think it was stuck. Oh, you pull it. You don't tilt it up and down, you pull it. But how do we release this part down here? That doesn't release by itself. There's a set of hooks you can see at the bottom of the screen. You just push the hooks with your finger and then pull, or what? Let's see if this will work. It will. Oh, that's just super sticky. You gotta reach back there and do it yourself. Oh boy, why does that sound not healthy? Oh, now we're stuck. Oh dear, now we're stuck. So there's a ratcheting mechanism that I can hear that's keeping it from going back down. So where are you? This would be the shallow drive. When you want it to go shallow and you want to drop it down, it'll hit this here and keep it from going any lower. So I get that, but how do I get you to go back down? All right, I'm gonna play for a little bit rather than putting you all to sleep, and we'll see if I can get this figured out. If you want, put it in the comments. Who knows? Maybe the video ends here.
And we're back for another extraordinarily exciting day. Turns out Johnson's 50th anniversary was 1972, but this engine series goes more than just 1 year, which is pretty obvious, I'm sure, to just about everyone watching this show. So I found out a couple things after doing a little research. The first thing I found out is that for whatever odd reason, this engine will not release the hooks unless you're in forward. So when you're in drive, you can see the hooks move down. Now, I can understand because the thrust of the prop will push the bottom toward the boat. But why would you have to put the boat in drive in order to make it tilt? I don't understand that. That's a little strange to me. I can understand reverse. You get extra spring tension to keep this thing from moving away from the boat when you're trying to go backward. But why? I don't know. Seems to me this lever doesn't exactly do a whole lot of anything. We'll have to play with it more once I can actually figure out why I can't get this to go back down. I still don't understand. There's a bunch of teeth here, and the teeth are engaging some sort of a tang, and that tang won't let us take it back out of a raised position, and it's extremely frustrating. Maybe we need to mount it back up to the extraordinarily convenient yet overly complex folding boat stand. So let's do that. This will be really good for my back. Okay, here we go. Let's see how this works, or doesn't work. And I just make myself look really good for the community of the tube of Ute. Also, the spiders will not stop invading this engine. They just love it. 1, 2, 3. Someone help me. Again, spiders, can you stop with the invasion? Go find another engine. Okay, let's just stare at this thing for a little bit. Maybe we need to go all the way up. No, we don't. Take it out of lock. You can't take it out of lock because there's that stinking bar in the way. This is embarrassing. Someone help me. I can see it right here. I can see the interlock right here. Check this out. Okay, I'm going to try to hold this steady. You can see that this metal bar here slides up and down. And when it's in the downward position, it engages the teeth, these teeth, and does not allow you to put the engine back down. See it ratchet? Okay, what pushes that back down? Oh my gosh. Okay, let's raise this baby up just a skounch. This would be your shallow drive. Okay, so when you're going through the water and it's shallow, that gives you the option to Basically keep your prop out of the weeds, dirt, rocks, whatever else. That makes total sense. I can understand that. I can also understand this little weird thing here. You push it in and you rotate it, and it's supposed to give you... Oh, dude. Whoa. This is fun. This is a lot of fun. Okay, let's figure this out together. 72 Johnson 9.5 ratchets up, won't go down. These are all electric trims. I don't care about electric trims. Tilt lock mechanism question. Okay. Hi. I'm restoring one of the above lovely engines, and I'm stumped regarding a part of the tilt lock. In addition, there's a ratchet mechanism to the left, which prevents the engine from being lowered. On my engine, the large rod is moved by tilting the lever, which we know. I can't figure out how to release the left side ratchet. Oh, somebody help me here. The ratchet is a friction device to let it tilt up easy, but go back down in a controlled, decent fashion. The through bolt that goes through the bracket controls the amount of friction by tightening or loosening the nut. Really? That's? If it's too stiff, loosen the nut. If unmovable, take it apart and see what's wrong with the friction cone. Okay. Okay. Well, here we go. This is a 1972, so I grabbed my standard sockets. Yes. We have a 9/16. So let's loosen this up. Actually, let's take it up another notch. Okay. Let's loosen it up and see if this decides it's going to go back down. Oh, why? How? What? Why and how? That's all I have to say. Okay, let's observe what the mechanism does when we raise and lower it now. Zoom action. I'm going to watch with you guys. Oh, it moves the entire wheel. Interesting. Come take a look. You ready? Here we go. Pop, 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 and rotate the whole piece. Okay. So basically, the whole premise behind this thing is to simply allow the engine to fall back down without destroying your transom. Okay, so let's do an experiment. Da, 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 da. My name's John. I'm raising my Johnson. Oops, I slipped. Ah, there you go, guys. All right, so it prevents your engine from slamming down, busting the back of your boat, because your hand slips off the back. Now, are we happy with that rate of fall? Let's go a little tighter. Maybe a little slower would be nice. You know what? This is what I love about doing this and exploring new and exciting things, because we can learn about what they decided to do back in the 70s, 80s, teens, whatever, to make life more convenient for people. I'm feeling good. I feel a lot better now. Thank you to forums. All right, let's pop some plugs. I want to see how this baby spins over. I have some very bad news, by the way. I have a really large problem. Yep, you saw it. I saw it. Oh, I need to get my stapler out. Darn it, Croc. Still love you, though. Not overly torqued. Not overly torqued. Very nice. We'll call the plug on the top spark plug number 1. That's actually nice and clean. Very nice. Plug number 2. Also nice and clean. I'm guessing this engine was fairly well taken care of. Still, let's put a little lubrication in that situation. We're going to use some 1540 today. Might think of it as overkill, but there we go. There we go. I sprayed it at the top of the piston. And no, to the extremely kind soul that sent me a gift to buy some Crocs, you don't need to send me a gift to fix these Crocs. All right, plug 1, plug 2. We're going to put them over here. Wrench, and oh yeah. Nice and easy rotation. It's giving off an aroma. Kind of reminds me of old electronics. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. Check out how this ripcord works. Look who's outside. Look who played in the pool. Backwash. Oh, good. You're all wet now. Why don't you squeak that? Is that your squeaky? There you go. Get your squeaky. Get your squeaky. Good boy. All right, so the engine's free. It rotates. It's got a pretty sweet ripcord setup. That ripcord looks extremely healthy. Wow. What do we want to do next? Oh, check this out. I just noticed this. Set points. Okay, so where is the reference to set the points? We know to set them to 20 thousandths, which hopefully we're not even going to have to do. But I would think, okay, tight, love you, bud. I would think we have to set the points to a reference line. Where is that reference line? Oh, dude. Sorry, habit. Oh, dude. Let's say your ripcord breaks. If you bring an emergency string with you, you do the rappy, and then you're good to go. That's cool. I like that. That's an emergency feature. Well, I'll tell you what. One way we can find out how to set the points is by finding top dead center of our top piston, and I bet it will point to where we need to be. Right about... Is that moisture? Or is that the oil I sprayed in there? Well, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Could be just buildup, carbon buildup. That's nice and shiny from the oil we put on there. Okay, well that's TDC. And where's our mark? That's right there. That is extraordinarily not helpful. Okay, so let's set the bottom piston to TDC. Or close to TDC. All right, right about there. Is that a crack? Oh no, guys, is that a crack? Oh, no, we're good. Spiderweb. Whew. Ooh, my heart sunk for a second. Okay, set points. Still extremely not helpful. All right, well, maybe somebody in the comments can help me up. And if I had half a brain, I would know that its set points is labeled on both sides because it's a 2-cylinder. Huh, I wonder if it has to do with right there being in this gap, because nobody likes to spark at top dead center. You want to spark slightly before top dead center, right? Maybe that gap is like the window of setting the points. That would be my guess. Start of points opening, closing of points. Also, we have a very, very upset animal out here. Cleo, do you know why you're outside? Yeah. Because you keep climbing in the litter box and you're so lazy you don't turn around and pee all over the place. So you're spending some time outside. Maybe if you drop like 10 pounds, this won't be a problem. Yeah, he doesn't know what to think about that little black cat right there. So I think our next step will be to check for spark, because it's way more exciting than just trying to start the engine. Spark apparatus is set up. We have our most important tool of the garage attached to what appears to be a decent ground. Plug is hanging out. Let's close some doors and turn out some lights. Don't get scared now. And go. Oh yeah, baby. That is a nice hot spark. All right, we're going to switch plugs and go to the other coil. Let's do it again. Apparatus for coil number 2 is set up. Switch the plugs. Let's see what happens. And go. Okay, so we have a problem. There is no spark out of the second spark plug wire. Starting to see more and more reasons why this was left by the side of the road. I'm going to switch plugs. We're going to try again without the slow-mo stuff again. And just to show you I'm not playing. Okay, bad news. But you know what? Kind of excited to diagnose this. Okay, let's switch plugs. Okay, here we go. Cylinder 1 spark plug on cylinder 2 coil. Let's try again.
Okay, folks. Let's go back to coil number 1, or wire number 1. Do a double check, make sure something didn't happen in the meantime. Try again. Yep. Okay. We do not have any spark on the bottom cylinder. Let's have a quick look and see where these plug wires go. So here's plug 1 and 2. They go down into what appears to be some type of loom down there, and then they feed up into our flywheel. So I'm thinking our problem is up here. Why don't we pull this nut off and let's investigate under the top hat. So before we rip off the flywheel, I want to make sure that nut is not reverse thread. So we have a thread right here that we can see. If we go this direction and the thread starts to disappear, then we know that if we tighten this to the right, it's going to start going down and it's going to make things tighter. If the thread starts to show more of itself, we know this nut is going to come upward and loosen. So let's take a look. How are we doing? Okay, the thread is starting to disappear. Okay, so it's a normal thread pitch. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So I am going to use impact on this because I don't have a good way to hold this. And I mean, yeah, I could cram a bunch of rope in here and, you know, put the plug back in, but I don't really want to. Let's just take this baby off. It is a 3/4 inch nut. Well, that wasn't so bad. Nut. We have a washer. Okay, I see a key. And there you go. There's a key. Make sure things are timed correctly. So are we lucky enough this will just pop right off? I mean, who am I kidding? No, absolutely not. I could put a puller on here, but I'm not going to. And there's a small amount of play, so I'm just going to gently pull up, and we're going to mallet. Okay, time for a puller. And I think we're definitely out of luck with this puller because it's huge. Let's see if I can find some bolts that fit that. Okay, so after much searching, I do not have any bolts that fit this. So we're going to try this. There is a web right here that connects the top part to the bottom part. I think this will be structurally the best. I'm just going to go gentle because I don't want to bend this up and break it. That would be quite the tragedy. This is 11/16. Not that anyone cares. You probably don't have this puller at home. I'm going to keep a good eye on the sides of this flywheel. Make sure we're not going to start bending anything, which we're not currently. Okay, everything still looks good. I'm going to keep going. Holy cow. Holy cow. Okay. So the ultimate question here is, do I show that on camera or do I skip that part? Okay, you saw it. Guess I didn't think about how brittle cast things are. Only one way to learn. Well, I'm not entirely sure what I missed, but what do you know? The hardware fits. Oh man. I am beating myself up like you are in the comments. That is tight. Nice and easy. There it is. Oh, I'm so mad at myself right now. Good news though, I already looked it up. I can get a brand new flywheel for about 30 bucks. Okay, I see 2 coils, I see 2 sets of points. With any luck, our problem will simply be the points. Welcome back, folks. It's a new and it'll be a brighter day today. Okay, I broke it. Let's move on with our lives. It's still gonna run, and like I said, I found used ones I can get for 30 bucks that aren't missing a chunk out of the top. So, let's continue. For our viewing pleasure, beneath the flywheel, we have 1 set of points, we have 2 sets of points, we have 2 coils, top. Okay, that must mean the literal top, as in facing upward, is where this goes, which means this probably slides off this collar, and that would make sense because it's also keyed. Alrighty, let's check some measurements. Let's go to resistance, turn on the light for those of you scared of the dark, and let's just check from top plug to, I don't really know, coil. 4.105 kilo ohms, 4.105. Okay, it's unanimous. 4.105. Bottom coil, 3.863. Slightly different. Again, I'm pretty sure all these go to ground. I don't have a clue what I'm doing right now. I'm just checking stuff and things. Yeah, so everywhere I touch, it reads the same. Where do they come in? Or do they go under? Oh, look at the timing advance. Check that out. How cool is that? It's throttle based, so as you change your throttle, it changes your timing. That's pretty sweet. They basically read the same, so feeling okay about that. Points over here are open, so they shouldn't read anything across the points, right? No, we ran into this with the two-stroke mower too, and for the life of me, I can't remember how it all works.
Okay, folks, it's been a long and painful journey, but through a ton of research and a lot of time, I think I finally understand what's going on here. Both of these sides do in fact go to ground, and let's explain why. On the inside of your flywheel, there's a magnet. That magnet is going to be represented by this little knife here. As the magnet begins to come around, it starts passing by the primary side of the coil. As that magnet moves by the primary side of the coil, those points close, like so. They are now closed. As that magnet continues by the primary and starts tickling the secondary, that change in magnetic field induces a small AC current. Okay, you get your little sine wave there. That's what my fingers are doing oddly. Okay, that current begins to flow through our primary winding wire, up into here, through the spring, through the rivet, through the points, and goes straight to ground. It's just essentially a straight up short. As the flywheel is continuing on, then those points open back up. Now, what happens is as this current is still moving along, all of a sudden it says, nope, I cannot go through here anymore. So instead, I'm going to go through this red wire tucked underneath here. I'm going to go through this red wire, and I'm going to come in here and I'm going to start storing my energy into this capacitor. As our magnet continues to move along, what happens now is the primary side says, where'd my magnet go? I'm really sad. It goes into a dark place. The field in this coil collapses. What happens now? All these awesome stored up electrons begin to backflow through the red wire up to here, where the coil and the red wire connect, back through the primary and straight to ground. So now it's exciting again the primary side of the coil. In the meantime, the secondary is like, all this primary excitement is getting me super, super excited. So now we're continuing on. Our magnet passes by the secondary side. The secondary is like, wait, where'd my magnet go? This is not cool. Secondary also collapses. And when that happens, it induces an insane amount of voltage through this little guy here, through this little guy here, and across the gap. Although I may not have everything perfect, that is the general idea of how this system works. And I'm pretty excited that I just learned that. So, let's do what we should have done. Let's grab a file these points, make sure our gap is 20 thousandths, and see if we get spark. That was exhausting.
Oh, geez, I'm sweating on this engine. How unpleasant. Okay, well, you know what? Let's just start with something simple and investigate how these points look. And in fact, we should make sure those points are even opening. Okay, can y'all see the points that we're looking at right there? That's what we want to see. I put the nut back on the top here. Let's see if they open. They are open. Wow, that's a long dwell. Holy smokes. Is it supposed to be that long? I'm looking at the other side now. Yeah, it's open a long time. Holy cow. I don't know. We know they open, we know they close. I guess we could just throw some sandpaper in there and hope for the best. I need something thinner. That's going to change the angle of the points contact. Got some 400 grit. I think that'll be a much better choice. It doesn't have big flakes of sand like other sandpapers do, so I don't think we're going to have any trouble with making a mess or anything like that. Open up, little guy. Take a bite. There you go. Curious to see if we get any yucks that come out of here. And yes, I just used the words yuck. Can you tell I have kids? Maybe a little bit. Yeah, there's some trash on there. That's a good sign. I'd like to get some more back and forth action in here. Bite. It's like you're at the dentist. Bite down. And release. Bite down. Alright, too much zoomage. There we go. Yeah, there's more trash coming off of there. Not a whole lot, but enough to make me feel good about what we're doing here. Do the Mortsky flick. Plus, I want to make sure everyone watching right now is fully asleep. That'll boost my viewing time, and that really helps the channel. Yeah, I mean, some brown stuff coming off those too. That looks like rust right there almost. I'm thinking we hook a drill to the top of this and then we just give it a whirl. Hopefully that was enough to make everything happy. Can't do that. Need a flywheel with a magnet. Duh. Just because we can, and I haven't set points very many times in my life, let's go ahead and check our gap. Better safe than sorry. That's all millimeters. Can't do that. I don't understand the metric system. That was a joke, by the way. Okay, 0.019. 20 thou. Way less than 20 thou. Did say 20, didn't it? On the flywheel that we broke? Yes, it did. By sanding it, we should have effectively increased the gap. Let's make sure we're fully open. Yep, 100%. We are fully open. 20 thou. Actually, I did 19. Oh boy, folks, we might actually get to set these points. I wonder if somebody just used a business card one day. There we go. Slightly loose at 11 thousandths. So they're probably at 12. Let's bump these babies open to 20. Make some real sparks happen. What do we need to loosen here, folks? I don't know what that guy does right there. It looks like it's not even touching anything. Are you loose? No, you're not. Maybe you're just a dowel to help us keep alignment? I do not know. Maybe it's that middle one that's shrouded by a couple of wires? I don't know. Let's try it out. Okay, I'm going to take that screw right there, and I'm going to loosen it, and we're going to see what it breaks or doesn't break. You're not going to be able to see much. Oh, the pop. Love the pop so much. Oh, yeah, that's it. That's it. I loosened it, and it moved the whole little plate that the points sit on. See how it's loose now? That really doesn't give you much movement, because this little guy is interfering over here. How in the world are you supposed to... I don't know. Let's move this little guy over here. Maybe he's part of the points adjusting process. Oh, it is. It's a cam. Look at... Sorry. It's a cam. Look at that. Dude, how cool is that? Watch this. Okay, I'm going to rotate this cam. You watch that gap between the points. How freaking cool is that? That is really a nice feature, if I do say so. I don't know. You've probably all seen this like a billion times, but this is numero uno for me. Alright, let's get our 20k thousandths. That made 0 cents. Let's get our 20 thousandths and put it in between there. Play with our cam. What we should have done for true science would be verify that cleaning the points even did anything to make the spark work, and then set the points. But I'm no scientist. What I'm looking to see is when I put the shim in there, does our little gold arm move? And yes, it's still moving, so we need a bigger gap. I think that's pretty good, folks. Okay, now, since our cam is going to hold it in place, I am going to tighten that guy down, which you will not be able to see. And then when we're done, we'll double check our points again, make sure they're still the right setting. Okay, we're good and tight. So I had to tweak it just a couple of times. I found that after adjusting this,
Kind of need to put pressure that direction to hold it while tightening that little screw down there, because otherwise it would actually open the gap wider. So here's 20 thousandths. We have just a slight amount of drag. You can barely see the little gold arm moving. I think we're right at about 19, which I think will be just fine. You saw how it's done on this side. I'm going to go ahead and do that side, and then I will bring you back. And we're back for a new and what will be glorious day. So I set these babies at 20 thousandths. It's like 19-ish, I think I already told you that. These are currently at about 12, and I'm having trouble getting that screw undone, and it looks like the previous owner had trouble getting that screw undone, as you can see from the destruction to the top of it. Figured I'd bring you back so you can join in the thrilling adventure of getting that loose. Actually, I've made an executive decision. Before resetting this point gap, let's see if we have spark on the bottom plug, because that would help us sort of verify that the points were dirty and the gap isn't actually the issue. Put our newly reconditioned and imbalanced flywheel back on here. I think we're in the right spot. Get this baby sort of tightened down. Sparking apparatus has been established. And go. Oh yeah, baby. We're back in business. And just because we can and it makes me happy, although I will say, notice how the top one sparks and the bottom one is intermittent. I bet that's because our gap is not super precise. So I'm kind of excited that we decided to test this and then reset the gap, because we have a baseline, and then now we can reset that gap and then check it again and see if that made a difference in the bottom plug's performance. Okay, cross your fingers I don't have to use the puller on this again. Or maybe I should, because in order to properly balance this, I should remove the same amount of material from this side that I did from this side. I'm joking. That's a terrible idea. Easy. Beautiful. You guys ready? Let's do our points modification verification. And here we go. No, still about the same. I will say it appears a little hotter though. Alright, we have all the lightning. And just because we can, I think it'd be fun to do a compression test. There's our throttle. So we want the throttle to be wide open. Okay. We are at watt. We'll leave those ready to spark just because it's better for the coil. Yeah. It's better for the coil to be able to discharge than not. Holy cow. Work with me here, little guys. There. Won't be able to see it, but that's okay. We know we're in a healthier relationship with the coils. And as usual, large numbers are PSI, small numbers are kPa times 100 for our metric friends. Here we go. Woo! 90. Got about 90 PSI. Not gigantic, but for a two-stroke, should be enough to get us going. And yes, as we have established before, this is a wet compression test, which means the oil that's in the cylinder will take up any types of imperfections, extra large gaps in the rings, whatever there may be, and give us most likely a higher value than what a dry compression test would. I read in the manual, the small amount of manual that I could find online, that the compression value itself is not so important. What's more important is the difference between the two cylinders. The closer the cylinders are together, the more optimal performance you will get out of your engine. So we know we have roughly 90 on cylinder 1. Let's see what we have on cylinder 2. And go. Woo! Yeah, I don't think the first one was actually quite at 90. I think it was 85-ish, and this one's at 80. So, I mean, we're close. It's not perfect. I think somebody told me in the last video with the Merc that it's pretty common from the factory to have some difference between the top and the bottom cylinder. And we're back for another ultra exciting day. You guys want to see if this thing will pop? I do too. I don't have a fuel system for this because, well, I don't. I've looked around. I haven't wanted to fork out the money for it because I don't have a boat to take this on. So I think we'll just take a fuel line that matches this diameter, put it over the end, and see if that'll give us enough fuel flow to get it to run. Okay, so I happen to have this. It's a really nice, high-quality piece of fuel line. Yeah, it's really great. But the good news is, so I think with any luck, we might just be able to get some fuel flow through that. Yeah, that's not going to work at all. 0% success. Because what's happening is the line is essentially the same diameter as this little tip here. So it's blocking the holes. I'm thinking option number 2, we see if we can just tap into this filter here. I know. Actually, you know what? Option 3, which is what we're going to do, is we're going to remove this from the filter. We're going to pull the line off and we're going to run directly to the carburetor. I think that's a much better plan. I think most of my shop towels these days are going to the absorption of my sweat. Goodness. All right. Okay, let's go ahead and pinch these guys and get them out of the way. I'm sure they're finger friendly, but not to my finger. Oh, yeah. Just had to put my big boy pants on. And they started to move. Okay, now, how easily is that line going to come off? That's question number 2. I'm guessing you can't see anything. Boop. Oh, wow. Hey, what do you know? A little bit of light goes a long way. What a great day. Now, let's not break this fuel filter housing. Hey, ooh, what came out of that? I thought I saw a driplet. Nope, I don't think so. Well, this fuel line is a bit stiff. Probably because it's been there since 1972. There we go. Okay, success. Now I gotta, again, figure out what to put in the end. Good news, I can blow through the hose. Can you hear it? That means our needle is not stuck in the upward position. How exciting is that? Our new fuel administrating device is definitely safe and secure. Yeah. Let's go see if this runs. Okay, here we are. We're all muffed, ready to go. I just need to put some fuel in that funnel. And then we'll start it up and watch it vibrate and splash all over the place. And traffic. Our muff selection is a little large. It's a little extra on the muffy side, so we'll see. We'll just turn the water up a little bit and see if she does any cooling circulation. And here we go. Okay, neutral, choke. Start. I think that's it. And let's just hope the flywheel doesn't disintegrate and send shrapnel into my stomach. Alright. Well, we know the impeller's toast. I bet you can smell it. What a great runner, though. Sounds pretty sweet, too. Kind of has a lope to it, which is probably because the mixture is not correct, but looks like the exhaust comes out around here, which is sort of interesting. And out here, this thing has a lot of exhaust exits. So So I'm trying to make sure that our water intake isn't back here, which I don't believe it is. I believe this is actually the exhaust gas exit. You can tell by the mass amount of debris, that's definitely not the water intake. But then what's this up here? Is that also an exhaust exit? Strange. Maybe I'm completely wrong, and the intake is down here. What you see up there? What the heck is that? There's no way that's the selector. Exposed to the water like that? It is! You can see the gear selector back there. Hold on. There, you can kind of see. I can't get the camera to focus too well, but why would they have the gear selector exposed to the elements like that? I guess maybe it's normal? Is that common practice? Whatever. Again, seeing more and more reasons why this engine was kicked to the curb. Also, we never put it in drive, so you don't have to worry about me not checking the gear oil as of yet. I put it back in the garage, and then I realized we really need to fully verify the customer concern. That being that there is no water flow. So we'll use this bucket just to make sure everything is underwater and submerged as it should be when on the back of a boat. And we've got the Kinkmaster 5000 filling it up right now. Okay, you ready? All right, round two. Just to show you, our little intake fins are well below the surface. We've got this thing maxed out to our drain hole there. And go. Almost. Choke. No choke. Start. Okay, customer concern verified. We have no water flow. So funny story, you put a little vibration into this thing, and the steering that used to be super tight is now super loose. So there happens to be this little screw down here, right at the tip of the screwdriver. It says friction steering, or steering friction, whichever you like to use. So let's increase that steering friction. Oh yeah, that's pretty, wow, that's really loose. Nope, that's a little better. Yep, I just didn't want it to roll over to the side while we were working on it. All right, step one. I want to take this cover off. No crack. That's okay. What do you know? Aluminum. Or magnesium. I wouldn't think magnesium. But then again, I have been wrong before. I know. It's hard to believe. Oh. Okay. What kind of goo? Oh, that looks like sand. Uh-oh. That is sand. I wonder if this thing sucked up a bunch of sand and internally ate itself. Well, it's a very good possibility. Let me get my shop towel, I mean my sweat rag, and clean off my screwdriver. Ooh, we got bugs. Let me guess, earwigs. Why do earwigs have to show up everywhere there's moisture? Well, because they like moisture. Well, we're gonna have to rip the lower part off, looks like. And if I was a guessing man, which I 100% am, got a bolt here, and then two on the other side. We are 100% wholeheartedly going to dive into this without knowing a dang thing that we're doing. If this is anything like the Merc though, we'll take out these 4 bolts and it should separate, it looks like, right about here. Today's wrench of choice, 7/16. Everything is coated in what I'm guessing to be some form of 2-stroke oil. Saw the internals grenaded, put it back together quickly, and then dropped it off at the curb for some poor soul to come and discover the woes that lie before him. 4 bolts are out. Ready for disassemble? Johnny 5? Here goes nothing.
Also, I want to put the gear shift in neutral if it's not already, because I would like for this assembly to go back just the way it came out. Okay, baby, here we go. Oh yeah. Here she comes. Don't give up on me now. I'm gonna be very disappointed if there's something in here that's gonna hold us up. Nope. Oh. That was a gear selector right there. I'm pretty sure we just went into... So you're telling me I gotta disconnect the gear selector? Pretty sure we just put it in forward. I might have to go consult YouTube on this one. That, or we explore our shift linkage. Oh, no, that's buried somewhere in the bowels of this machine. Did it just suck it back up? Yeah, of course it did. What are you telling me? I gotta split this thing in half? Because that would be asinine. Man, this thing stinks. The exhaust. There's still exhaust coming out of this bellows. Alright, I'm gonna play around for a little bit. See you in a minute. So I think I have an idea of what we need to do. And I think it lies right there. So initially I thought this shaft here, which I was fairly certain was our shift shaft. Say that 10 times fast. I was pretty certain this was our shift shaft. Now if you look up here, you can see a shaft coming out of the top of it. What I believe this is where the two come together. The top bolt secures the top part of the shaft. There's a gap between the two, and then the bottom bolt secures the bottom part of the shift shaft linkage. So I believe that if we loosen that bottom guy right there, I think it will release the bottom part of the shift shaft. Battery too low to use flash. Super helpful. Basically, life telling me I'm long-winded right now. We're going to loosen that thing and see if it comes apart. Okay, here we go. Loosening shift shaft linkage. No. And what do you know, it's the next day. Let's get back to the shift shaft selector. Shift, whatever. Let's undo this thing and see what happens. It's a 10 mil, by the way. It's loosening. It's loose. Nope, I don't think that's it. Could have sworn that would be it. Ouch. Owie. Do I have to undo it all the way? This is very confusing. Yep, that was it. We had to get the bolt all the way out. What a great design. It makes it super user-friendly. Let me show you why in a second here. Okay. Spline. Water pump would be under that 4-screw shield there. And the reason we couldn't get it out is because this bolt engaged the convexity of that shift shaft. Had to get the bolt all the way out before we could release the Kraken. Okay, let's go look at our trashed water pump now. Alright, so here we are on the nice clean work surface. People tell me to put these things in a vise when I'm working on them. That makes me shiver. So we don't. We have 4 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to go ahead and pop those babies out, lift this cover off, and see what destruction lies beneath. Sticky. Not only is the screw sticky, but the frickin' weather is sticky, as you can tell from the cicadas screaming outside my garage. So, something interesting I just found that some of you may have already noticed or already known about. There was the chamber where I thought our water intake was, but look at this guy down here. I don't know. Anyway, got the 4 screws off. Let's see what's underneath. This looks like a dust seal or a water... Well, the whole thing's coming off anyway. What kind of destruction do we have behind our door? Nothing yet. Well, there's the impeller right there. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that looks pretty decent. Did the key shear? Yes, it did. Oh, no, it didn't. There's a dowel pin right down there to help index the impeller. Alright, well, let's pull it apart. Oh boy, that whole shaft wants to come out. That's not good. Don't really feel like doing that.
There's our impeller housing. Here's our impeller.
Hey folks, I'm still alive. I'd like to reach out and thank Judge Guilty for checking on me to make sure I am literally still alive. It's been months. Months? Has it been months? It's been a long time since I've released anything. No issues. Things are good. Family's good. Life is good. Summer's been insane. I have kids in travel sports, and it's a lot. So getting out here has been very difficult. Obviously, I'm not a professional YouTube person. I'm not even close to a professional YouTube person. So this is my second playtime, my other playtime. So I apologize to my faithful viewers for not releasing anything for a long time. So I actually had to go through my editing and refresh my memory as to where we actually were. And where we left off, the Johnson was not pumping any water. So the lower unit's been sitting here for right now, and it is leaking profuse amounts of gear oil out onto my newly refurbished yet not great work surface here. So I've been poking around a little bit, and I think I might have an idea as to why we're not getting any water flow. So we're just going to have to experiment. Well, the gas is all gone. I'm guessing it evaporated out, or it's in the crankcase. Whatever. So yeah, let's take a look, see what we can figure out. Alrighty, here we are. Here's the beautiful lower unit. That's not so beautiful. It has decided to barf all of its internal oil out onto... You're fine, Titan. Relax. It's decided to puke everywhere and leave a nice mess for me. I don't know if that's normal or not. And the reason I say that is because when it was upright, and I've had this engine sitting in my garage for probably a year, it has not leaked anything. But now that it's on its side, we have a ton of oil. Oh, my bad, right in your face. Oh, camera. Anyway, there's a bunch of oil up here, and I'm curious if there's a seal somewhere we can't see, or maybe this engine was just not designed to be turned upside down, which I can totally understand that. I would probably throw up too if I was completely upside down. What I've been thinking is that our water intake might just be clogged up. And the reason I say that is that I have been poking around and I see good old dirt dauber nests right down there. So there's an intake. I've kind of been looking at this thing. Well, I've looked at it a lot, but there's the intake here. Where'd the cover go? So there's this cover, right? That as we scoot along should be picking up water and helping pump up to the top of the engine. But there's also this little guy here with a screen on the side. And that screen looks like it's kind of like a secondary intake. Like it should suck water up and spit it into here as well. But I think once it gets into here, it doesn't have anywhere to go because the frickin' thing's clogged with spiders and dirt daubers and everything else. So let's go ahead and poke around in here with a pick. There you go, a little better view for you. Let's poke around in here with a pick, see if we can scrape all that out, put this little beauty back together and see if it decides to pump water. I don't know how many of you live in the Midwest, the upper Midwest, eastern side of the United States, but holy smokes, how about that temperature change if you do? We went from 90s and repeated 90s and, oh geez, you little meatballs. Why do you have to find the most ridiculous spots to build stuff? Anyway, we went from extremely toasty temperatures to like 70, 65, 50 at night. And the funny thing is, oh yeah, that's packed. So I know, actually, at this point, water comes in through the bottom here, in this screen, if it decides to, or in the intake here, and I believe it's pumped up through this. It looks like there's a passage up here, I'm guessing feeds up into the impeller. So that is, I'm sure, clogged as can be. Anyway, again, temperatures, 90s down to 70s, and what's hilarious to me is when your body adjusts to being used to 90 every day, and all of a sudden you turn down to 70, which is a very comfortable temperature. It feels cold, like really cold. It kind of cracks me up. Okay, so light, camera, and action. There's our intake port from the screened in spot right here.
And it looks like there's still stuff down there. So let's get a 90-degree pick. Actually, you know what? There's not a lot in there. There we go. I need to get my blowgun. We'll blow that out later. Next is going to be this guy up here. And you can kind of see there's a bunch of junk up in there. So trying to get any water flow. Oh, look at that. Is that what is that? Oh, that's one of those puff spider nests. Or spider egg sacs. Great. Now, from there, I don't know where the water comes up. Does it come up through here, in this spot inside? Let's get this impeller out of here. There's an O-ring at the top of the splined shaft. We need to take that off. We are not going to blow from the outlet to the inlet because I don't want to clog this screen full of junk. I can see some buildup down here at the bottom. Kind of hard to see on camera. So we need to blow all that garbage out of there. And here we go. Oh, right in the mouth. Oh, it's all over me. That was brilliant. Okay, let's, I'm going to close my mouth this time. Let's do it again. You guys see that? You guys see that screen rotate? There you go. Check that out. Almost like it was designed to do that. Actually, no, we're not done here. There's still what I would classify as a collar of dirt dauber nest right there. So let's go ahead in there and break it up. Oh no, it fell back down. You meatball. And go. Oh, now it's, there we go. Hey, we got it. It's coming out. Get out of there. Stinking wasps. Holy cow. Speaking of which, with the temperatures so high this year, the wasps and the frickin' weeds have just been having a field day, and it's been driving me insane. I can't keep up with it. I don't even want to keep up with it. Intake port number 1 is clear. We'll call that exhale port, or intake port number 2. I'm going to take this rubber seal off of here. O-ring, if you will. There we go. Off you go. Thank you. That looks still pretty good. Do you concur, Doctor? Yes, I concur. That movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, where he basically goes from job to job, writes like 1,000 bad checks, and he comes to become a doctor, and it's like, do you concur? Yes, I concur. So let's get this guy off of here, because I want to see down below it. And you know, honestly, this impeller, there we go. Okay, we're going to remember. Nope, we're not going to remember, so we're going to mark it with a white dot. So we remember that is the top. Don't want to install it backward, although there's a very good possibility that the previous owner installed it backward, and I have no idea. I guess if you install it backward, the fins should essentially change direction, right? I don't know. I just work here. Okay, so our inlet hole is right here, right? We would assume it's a straight shot, comes up here. There's a very strong possibility. You know what? There's another possibility that this plate comes off. Oh my goodness. My brain is actually functioning today. Let's get this key out of here. We're going to go put it next to our impeller on top of it so we don't lose it. And that's probably a really bad place for that, actually. Actually, I know that's a really bad place for that. I'm going to put it in my metal tray, my magnet tray, just in case. There we go. Good plate. Oh, look at that. It's our intake, and it has a bunch of trash in it. Yes! I knew it. We knew it. Oh my. That is full of trash. I can see some light through the bottom, but intake port right there. See all that trash in there? I don't know what that is. It looks like grease. Why would there be grease in there? There should not be grease in there. That or it's just built up over years. This thing is restricted enough. I'm pretty sure that's part of our problem. Let's go ahead and scrape it out. I don't really want to blow it out because it's all going to come right back to my face, and I kind of want to see what this stuff is. Oh my god. Holy cow. It's like crustacean. Oh, it's more frickin' dirt daubers. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I'm going to go ahead and scrape at this for a while. I might even take a drill bit, put it in a drill, and just ream it out. No, that's a joke. That's definitely not going to happen. Oh, geez, look at all that, guys. How are you supposed to suck any water through that? And something else we're going to do today, or maybe not today, it might be tomorrow, is we're going to prove that starting an engine without water in the intake for a minute without water doesn't burn up the frickin' impeller. Everybody's so sensitive about, don't start the engine without water in it. I mean, I get it. I really do. If you have an opportunity to hook water up to your engine before you start it, do it. You will save your impeller, you will save the impeller housing, and it will increase the longevity of your boat motor. But I mean, come on guys, you start it for a few seconds, you shut it off, it's not going to destroy it immediately. That is my extraordinarily humble opinion. Don't take my word for it. You burn up your engine, it wasn't my fault. And now we're going to aim this away from our face, and we're going to blast a bunch of air down that hole. And go. Oh, why? Ugh. Okay, there's more. How did the frickin' dirt daubers get inside the lower unit? Do you see this? I can't see anything because the sun is reflecting off my frickin' pool right into my face. Hold on. Do you see this? Do you see? It's another frickin' mud dauber nest. I mean, how do they get in here? Holy smokes, this is nuts. Alright, I'm gonna play. I'll see you in a little bit. Alright, so we have a clean... Alright, so we have a work surface. Let's go ahead and put this baby back together. I want to see if it's going to pump water. I'm kind of excited to find out. Plate. Okay, little key goes right here. Wow, that barely sticks out. Huh. White dot goes up. Yeah, I guess it engages enough. We're good. Let's put on our housing here. I'm going to clean that. Oh, look, a spider. Hi, bud. Are you, enjoying the grease in there? Let's get you out of there. The weather's beautiful. I don't want to kill the spider in case it rains. Okay, down you go. Okay, that goes like that. We're going to rotate the impeller this way to help it kind of find its... There we go. Find its home. Okay, screws. It's funny how back in the day they used these standard screwdriver screws. Nowadays, you'll never see anything like that because they're so easy to strip out. So we are installed. What we're going to do now is we're going to pull this up and we're going to put it in neutral. And then we're going to take my drill. We're going to put it on the end of the prop shaft, like so. We're going to tighten it down. We're going to dip it in the water. We're going to see if it'll pump. This is something that we also did with the Mercury. Okay, got some side cutters, aka dikes. Depending on your generation, we're going to try to... Yeah, maybe it needs to go down. Let's try a twist and a pinch at the same time. Oh man, that's hard. Holy cow. All right, hopefully the solution is a larger pair of pliers. Nope, not at all. Nope. Holy smokes, this isn't going to happen. We're just going to have to spin the prop. All right, folks, you ready? I am ready. Oh! Yep, prop works. Oh, there it is. Did it have to prime itself or what? That is a lot of water flow. Oh man, what a great day. All right, success. All right, we're pumping water. What a great day. I'm out of time for the day, but yeah, we'll pick up hopefully tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see you guys then. And we're back for another new and extraordinary day. And it hasn't been months. How great is that? First thing, let's get this baby put back together. There is this collar here, and I'm not entirely sure what it does. Doesn't seem to seal on anything. just kind of hangs out. There's a big gap around the prop shaft. I'm going to go against what most people say, and we're going to use some Blaster multi-purpose grease. It does have excellent water resistance. And we'll put some on the splines up here. Rotate this as we push down. Hey, look, we're in oh, never mind. Nope, we're not in neutral. All right, we're greased. We're happy. This has a detent in it so that you put it on in the right spot. Just like that. Could you see anything I just did? Probably not. I'm going to put the screws back in. We'll get this baby installed. Okay, next will be our intake plate. Okay. Intake plate is installed. Is that a crack? Look at that. It looks like a crack. See that? That is not super promising. Not in the least. How the heck does that happen? Water intrusion? Yeah, that's not really great. And what is this? Why is there a hole there? Let's poke at it. Is that supposed to be a vent? I should probably not poke at it. Maybe that's supposed to be a one-way vent. It goes right in there. There's nothing blocking the way. Interesting. Not great. Not sure why that's there. All right, after we install this thing, we're going to go ahead and change out the gear oil. And there we go. Like I said, wipe all of our grease off. Okay, so we're going to want the gear selector in the forward position, which is, I believe, the lowest position. Let's have a look. Nope, just kidding. Reverse it is. There's a nice guide in here for the prop shaft. And now we just need our shift shaft lever to get in there as well. Okay, ish. All right, I'm gonna put our bolt through here now. Hopefully it cooperates if I can actually reach it. Oh my goodness. I don't really want to drop it down there, but I'm probably going to. Get out of there. Actually, okay, are you gonna stay there? Stay. Oh, barely. All right, we're gonna start with the screwdriver and we're gonna cross our fingers. Yeah, you're gonna go. Oh, you are gonna go. You're threaded on both sides? Why? Okay, whatever. I'm not the engineer here. Is this the right socket? Oh, it is. What a great day. Okay, let's just snug that baby down. There we go. Now let's shift this thing up into drive. Drive. I say it every time. Now let's shift this thing up into forward. Yeah, right. Just like that. Oh, you know what? It's the splines. Okay, so I'm going to rotate the propeller while I put downward pressure on the shift lever. There it is. Our splines weren't lined up. Awesome. Awesome. Now just 4 bolts. It's crooked. You can install this crooked. You can install it crooked. In relation from here to here. That's amusing. All right, we'll yank it that way. We're in business. Let's see if we can get this thing out of drive now. Dang it, again. Let's see if we can get this thing out of forward. Yep, all right, we're in good shape. Woo! Okay, let's see what kind of milk comes out of this thing. Hopefully it's not milky at all. But I'm guessing from the damage here to the side of the lower unit, that's not gonna look great, if there's any in there. Okay, it's coming right out of the top. Why? Is it because it's overfilled with water? Probably. Should have undone the bottom first. That was, oh, that is crunchy. I could have also put the top plug back in. That would have, oh my dear Lord. Is that oil? What is, oh, no. Where are you going? Okay, good. Straight down, thank you. Hey, look at that, I barely spilled.
So agree with me or not, I did just run some brake cleaner through there. I know you may disagree, but brake cleaner evaporates so quickly that we shouldn't have any issues with it remaining in there. I mean, the gears in there feel really good. I don't know. Let's blow it out too. See if we can splatter ourselves in the face again. Cover your eyes. Yeah. I'm going to take some gear oil I do have, run some through there. We're going to use Mercury gear lube because they make good stuff, so we'll be just fine. We'll just squeeze some in there. Oh yeah, there we go. We'll let that run out, give it a flush. Alright, the internet will explode. Oh, I just sneezed, it messed with my voice. Alright, the internet will officially explode if I do not fill this from the bottom. So we are going to fill it from the bottom. And these drain plugs are different sizes. Actually, they're not different sizes. One's missing a washer. The washer is still there, so that one goes on the bottom. Yeah, so if I smell... sounds weird. If I smell the oil that's on this plug, it smells like motor oil. That's great. More reasons why this thing was left on the side of the road. And here we go. Oh, what a lovely sound. Seriously, does it really take that much? I need air. That's cool. I didn't want to actually keep that in there. I like being wasteful. Holy smokes. This is not going in very easily. Oh, dear Lord. Are you serious? What the hell was that? You know what it is? The stupid nozzle is bottoming out on the other side. Oh, jeez. Hey, guys, I think I got it full. Oh my gosh, I quit. Well, that, yeah. Now I'm gonna stink like frickin' gear oil for a week. Well, you know what? At least we know we have a bunch of gear oil in there. Yeah. Good thing I ran out of frickin' gloves. Good Lord. Oh, what was that? I washed my hands for about 27 minutes and I smell slightly less worse, but I swear the smell of gear oil ingrains itself in your nostril hairs and just stays there for days. I despise it. Hey, in other news, check that out. Our farrier, also known as our horse toenail clipper, got this off of an auction and it doesn't run for him. So we're going to have to play with it. I'm pretty excited. I'm also excited because we're going to fire this beast up now and see if it'll pump water. Whoop whoop. Okay, Kinkmaster 5000 is officially filling up our water bucket. I have it raised up a little bit so we are 100% sure everything's in the water that's supposed to be in the water. Titan is attempting to put his sticks in the water because he's Titan. All right, we are submerged. Let's do it. Put this baby in nooch. Choke. This indicator is garbage. Start position. And here we go. Don't worry about the gas coming out the top. Oh yeah, baby, we're pumping. I was playing with the mixture, trying to get it right and make it happy. That gasoline mixture, definitely heavy on the oil. I used an old Mobile 1 quart container and put a bunch of gas in it, and that gas that I put in there was two-stroke gas as well, so yeah, she's a bit rich. Not sure what that misfire is. It's almost like it's firing early. Doesn't sound good. What the hell is that? Easy. Holy cow. What was... Whoa. Oh, jeez, oh, Pete's. When you pull the choke, does it increase throttle automatically?
Okay, so that's throttle. Pull the choke. Yes, it does.
Yeah, something about low speed. Not happy. You kind of have to play with it in low speed. I mean, not the end of the world. So, if you look at the label, it may give you a hint as to why, when you go too low on it, it stops. Weird. Almost like that's a stop position. Oh my goodness, this thing is perfectly fine. I'm just a meatball, I can tell you that. I think we need to blip it and forward one more time. Then we'll let it run out of gas. Now I'm gonna let the water tank fill back up. That's fun. Call me a child, but it's fun. Yep, that was it. All right, guys. How about that? How about that? I just, you know, don't know how to properly read things, so that's why I thought it had a low speed issue. I think it's a little finicky, but overall it seems to run pretty nice, just as long as you don't take the speed too low. And you get the mixture right. Forward and reverse work. It blips, makes water splashes. Titan gets really happy. What else did we fix? We fixed the no spark issue on one cylinder. We spent the better part of a decade figuring out how to tilt this thing. Why? What a nightmare. But yeah, overall I'm happy. I don't think I'm going to keep it. I think I'm going to list it. See if I can get a couple bucks for it as is, including the crack in the lower unit. I don't know what that's all about. All I can figure is that some water got in there and froze over the winter, but it does not leak when it's vertical. The only time it leaked was when I had it on the bench for 2 months. And yeah, some gear oil started coming out, and I don't know what was in there. It looked and smelled just like regular engine oil, so I don't know what that was all about. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. It was fun. Like I said, sorry it took so long. Just the way things go. So anyway, hope everyone's doing well. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you right here next time on... The outro is always impossible. Anyway, hope everyone's doing well, and we will see you next time right here on the Tractor Fella channel. Elbow drop.